As promised last week, we're on another spectacular journey along the North Downs Way. If you didn't get a chance to watch last week, then to recap, it's a walking trail covering some of the most scenic and historic landscapes in southern England. Hello to you all and welcome to another video out with the camera. Before we begin, I thought it'd be fitting if we took another shot from the same starting position as last week. As you can see, the tripod is set up ready to go. It's going to be one of the only times that we end up using the tripod today, using the Canon RP today with the 24 to 105 millimeter lens. Let me talk you through the composition though that we've got here. We're getting some lovely light over the distant hills that I'll be walking in a short while, and as you can see, they really are going to show my lack of fitness once again. The main subject that we're going for today is this building here in the background. I love how it's framed by the trees, and we're especially focusing on the left hand side of the trees, but the main focus of this subject is going to be the foreground. We've got this lovely meadow, we've got little splashes of poppies dotted around here in the foreground. This is where the main focus will be for this shot. It's possible that the background, the hills in the distance, will be blurred out. We do have a third element, a train line over on the right hand side. I was hoping to get a train entering the shot from the right. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to be possible. It's going to be just out of shot. And it's proof really that you can pre-plan an image before you get to a location. You can get the best ideas in your head, but it's when you get to a spot that you realise what's possible, what isn't. And in this case, I don't think I'm going to be quite lucky, but it's not the end of the world. It'd have been a nice added element, but yeah, I'm not too bothered. Sadly, the North Downs Way isn't all about the beauty of the countryside, endless fields and woodland. The start of our journey this morning involves us walking past perhaps one of the loudest, busiest, dirtiest parts of the route in question. So as you can see, we're walking next to a motorway here, having to cross the River Midway of this part of the Downs. My hometown is just over to the left. So this is probably one of the dirtiest, loudest bits of the whole entire North Downs. But of course this motorway here is just one of two in the southeast, which acts as the lifeblood from England to mainland Europe via road. Of course, if you keep going, you'll end up at the ports of Dover for the ferries or Folkestone for the car train. I thought I'd stop halfway on the bridge because in the distance I've got Rochester Castle dominating the skyline here. We've got the sun. It's going to be a really warm day apparently, so I've got out nice and early. I think we're going to have highs of 28, which for us English, we do not cope well in the heat. But we've got the River Midway just snaking its way into the distance. We've got the castle dominating in the background, but nice haze over the distant hills as they cross against each other. And one of the reasons why I wanted to stop here, we've got a little bit of land just jutting out as the river curves its way around. That there was where I recorded my very first YouTube channel. It's amazing that it was 6 months ago now, and I'll put a link up if you've not had a chance to watch that. For now though, I think I can't move on without grabbing a shot. Like I say, we've got boats either side. You're not going to be able to see. We've got boats either side of the river. We've got a lovely bit of light shimmering on the sea from the sun reflection. Beautiful. It's going to be a very minimalistic. There's not going to be much colour. It's a very warm image. I think I can't not capture it while I'm here. finally we appear to be getting off the main road and back into classic countryside. However, now this is where the fun begins, and embarrassingly I probably already sound out of breath, because as you saw from the B-roll of the hills at the start of this video, this is where I'll start getting a little bit painful, because I think now we're going straight up. Back to the photography on show, and the higher we climb here, the more these views get amazing. We've still got the motorway over on the right hand side, but we've got this valley, we've got this river winding its way from right to left in the distance. We don't have any woodlands like what we had last week, so we're not having anything obscure these views, and we certainly don't have any fog either. So of course we've got a lovely field of distance. We've got lovely views along off into the distance. It's really beautiful. It's been really well worth the climb, and I don't think I'm at the top. I think I've got a long way to go yet before I reach the top. And I think as a result, with the landscape changing like this, I think it's time to change to the 100 to 400mm lens. Of course, I've been using the 24 to 105, but I don't think this lens will cut it now, what with the views we've got enough. We want to kind of narrow down, concentrate on the minute detail. It's a nice quick tip when changing lenses. You want to make sure your new lens is ready to go before you take your old lens off. Reason being, we want the sense exposed to the elements for as short a time as possible, especially if we're at the beach. We don't want any sand or grit getting onto that sensor, because it's only going to ruin our images. It's going to leave more editing to do in post, because you have to get rid of all those little spots of dirt. So make sure your camera body's facing downwards. Quick changeover, probably could have done that quicker. Lens cap off, and away we go. My time walking the North Downs is nearly at an end for the current future. It's been an experience exploring new paths and new sights, and simply enjoying the freedom of being out and about in the countryside. So here we are, after some grueling miles, we've finally reached our end destination, and what a destination it is. We've got some stunning views over the Kent Downs. We've got a mixture of town in the far distance, sprinkled with a lot of countryside. It's just endless infinity of green disappearing into a hazy distance on what is a really beautiful day. Couldn't have chosen a better day. Maybe if I was a little bit picky, I would want a little bit of low fog over the surrounding countryside, a bit like further on into the Downs when I did a video recently, and of course I got that low fog from the viewpoint from where I was. But as you can see, we've reverted back to the 24 to 105mm lens. I want a nice wide panoramic shot of the view we've got in front of us. Make sure the camera's turned on and lens caps off. We don't want to look silly now, do we? And of course we just want, I think I kind of want a mixture. This is a difficult one, because I'm wanting a mixture of the trees in the foreground. We've got some lovely trees which really kind of frame the shot. We've got some cliffs down, some chalky cliffs down here in the foreground. So I want to make sure I get as much of this shot in as possible. We've even got some wisps of cloud. So of course it's not going to be some blue, boring sky with no character to it. This isn't the end of my adventures along the North Downs Way. Having covered a small part of the track, it's only suitable that I someday return to complete the rest of it. For now though, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Yet another photography trip out and about. If you did, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more in the future. Don't forget to check out my social media links in the description below for more content. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.